Almost everybody looks up at the air every time an aeroplane passes overhead, often wondering out of curiosity. How do these huge and heavy machines even fly? Once thought to be impossible, flying became a reality because of the lift generated by wings and their complex and efficient cross-sectional profile, commonly known as an airfoil. So how is this lift generated, and how do aeroplanes actually fly? Before going deep into that, let's understand the airfoil itself. So what exactly is an airfoil? An airfoil or aerofoil is a streamlined shape capable of generating significantly more lift than drag. This curved design lifts a huge airplane up in the air when it interacts with the wind. Magical, right? Airfoils are found in airplane wings, propellers, helicopter blades, turbines, fans, and even in race cars, as inverted wings called spoilers, which create downward lift or downforce. This shape is heavily inspired by nature. Birds, dolphins, whales. Many creatures have bodies shaped like natural airfoils, allowing them to fly or swim smoothly, even while carrying their own weight. Every airfoil design serves a unique purpose. The one used for a passenger aircraft cannot be used for a propeller or helicopter blade. An airfoil for supersonic speeds looks completely different from one designed for low-speed flying or aerobatics. Let's understand more about the airfoil. The forward-most edge of the airfoil is the leading edge, while the back edge is the trailing edge. Draw a straight line between these 2 points and you get the chord line. Airfoils are usually tilted slightly when installed on aircraft, so the angle between the chord line and the incoming airflow is called the angle of attack. If you draw a line midway between the upper and lower surfaces, that's the camber line, which tells you how curved the airfoil is. A symmetric airfoil has zero camber. The thickness of the airfoil also varies along the chord and plays a big role in performance, stability, and internal structure. The NACA airfoils and their nomenclature. Some of the most famous airfoils come from the NACA series, developed by the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics in the United States. Their numbers encode information about camber, thickness, and shape. Some classic NACA airfoils include NACA 0012, a symmetrical airfoil with 12% thickness, widely used in propellers, helicopter blades, and aerobatic wings. NACA 2412, a cambered airfoil with 2% camber located at 40% of the chord, popular in light aircraft and gliders. NACA 4412 or 4415, higher camber airfoils offering more lift, used in trainers, utility planes, and early military designs. Governing principles of lift. A wing's shape controls how air moves around it, and the way air moves decides whether an airplane flies or falls. It's almost like the wing is guiding the air. Most airfoils have this kind of similar profile shape. When air flows over this shape, it speeds up on the top and slows down on the bottom. Faster air equals lower pressure, slower air equals higher pressure. This pressure difference pushes the wing upward. That's lift. This behavior of air, how pressure changes with speed, is explained by Bernoulli's principle. Newton's third law also plays a role. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Take a piece of cardboard and hold it in the wind at a slight angle. You'll feel it push upward and backward. That's lift. Hold the same cardboard almost flat, aligned with the wind, and it generates no lift at all. Tilt it too much, and it becomes unstable and gets pushed back hard. This is what happens when an aircraft crosses its critical angle of attack and stalls. The airflow separates and lift collapses. The shape of airfoil allows us to control the air flowing around any body, creating pressure difference and generate lift. In the end, this delicate balance between the airfoil's curvature, thickness, smoothness, and angle of attack allows every aircraft, from a paper plane in your classroom to a massive airliner, to rise into the sky and fly smoothly. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you learned something new, and drop your questions in the comments. Let's keep exploring aerodynamics and engineering together. Thank you for watching.